So welcome everybody to today's session of Ramesses, language of Ramesses. We have two things on the agenda. One is the exercise at the end of lesson 16, which was all about the first present. And it has to do with a scribe who really wants a drink. After that, I think we can get into chapter 17, which is all about the aorist. How does that work in Egyptian, the affirmative and in the negative? Not really a long chapter, so depending on how well we do in the exercise, we may be able to finish that up today. Have a little cheers caption here on the left-hand side for your car. Took me a while to accept that that's really what people said, but Machi made a really good case for it. For your car, have a beautiful day, basically. That apparently is what people said, because it appears in more than one place. So without further ado, that was a nice comment, yes. Without further ado, let's go into the exercise. This is taken from an Ostrakon, not surprisingly from Deir el-Medina, where we just have a ton of more everyday texts, simply because there's a huge pit with tons of Ostraka in it that luckily got preserved. So you get things that you normally wouldn't get in a lot of other places, simply because they haven't survived, not because they weren't written. And I hope a few of you had a chance to take a look at this, because what I'd like to do is just go sentence by sentence what this might mean. And yeah, let me turn the transliteration keyboard on. And in the meantime, if anybody wants to volunteer for the beginning, the blue part are the names of the two people involved, namely the writer and the addressee. So to make it a bit easier, I highlighted them in color. All right. Any volunteers?
Well, I'll kick it off if you like.
Sounds perfect.
See how we go. And I'm not sure how you spell or pronounce sesh in late Egyptian, but it's sesh kedenu.
Yeah, sesh kedu. That's right.
Oh, you have kedu. Yeah.
What did you have?
I had kedenu out of Middle Egyptian.
Oh, that's a really good question, though. Let's take a quick look at that, because it is spelled with a nu, right?
Yeah.
So let's see where that comes about before we go any further. Bear with me. Right, what should we take? Let's use Ramesses Online and just search for it. Ked. Well, there's Ked to sleep, but that's not the one that we want. I think it's this one, and it's just an odd spelling of this combination. It's spelled with a nu pot, and I'm not. Is it because of pot? Maybe that the nu comes in there. Honestly, I don't know. Is there a nu in earlier in Middle Egyptian, or is that just a graphic?
I think I'm just going to look in my dictionary.
That sounds good.
I can't see it. I mean, ked, the word ked is there for building.
Right.
Ked, building. So it's the scribe of the building, anyway.
Right. It's
I think.
Or of the design, I think, in this case. What do we have here? Natur, Charakter, Form. It's not I don't think it's this cat, the cat that means to build, written with that. But it's this one here. What a sesh CAD is the one who does the outlines in the tomb. So not doing all the fine work, but it's also translated as a draftsman. How exactly we know that? I don't know. I'm assuming we're just going by the translation, but yeah. Let's go with sesh CAD.
I guess it's a job title.
It's a job title. From what I've read, it's
TLA had Sechau Kedut, actually.
Kedut with a
yeah.
T? With a okay.
I mean, they had the T spelled, of course. And as for where it comes from, I'm checking Gardner's Middle Egyptian dictionary, and he has that nu in several meanings of ked.
Right.
And according to this, it's never pronounced.
Yeah,
like he always has it transcribed as ked, but the nu is there. So
fully agree.
Unclear. Maybe it's already kind of determinative.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere with a nu in it, but I can't find it now.
All right.
Anyway, that's that bit. Then you get the name, which is PreHatip.
Hang on, I don't have my transliteration keyboard on. Here we go.
PreHatip.
That's right.
That's the guy's name.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't be translating it, should I? I should just be telling you.
I think
I'll try and do a bit of both. Then it's Suwajaib.
Very good.
And Hurrieth.
That's right.
Now I get a little trouble, and it looks like oh, sorry, yes, Sesh, and I think it's just Iset.
Right.
I kept looking for some other meaning, but
No, that's what it is. And not
right.
any ESET, but the ESET.
Oh, Iset Mart.
That's right. You got it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the place of truth. And if anybody knows what that is, I do not. I know it's a common thing, but I don't really know what it is. So if anybody knows, please chime in.
Will it represent the afterlife?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Then you get the next name.
I think it represents the afterlife.
Of the afterlife?
Iset Mart.
But isn't Set Ma'at the name of the workers' village that we call Deir Medina now?
Oh.
No. Let's have a look.
Or
I mean, I think it's
courthouse, like a place of judgment.
I mean, that would make sense, but
Yeah.
I've heard
I
it
don't know if
as
they had those.
being the name of the workers' village.
definitely a place.
Go up. There it was. Setma. The settlement's ancient name was Setma'at, place of truth.
Look at that.
Oh,
Very
cool.
good.
Specific
Learned
place.
something. Okay.
Right.
So this is the scribe of basically Deir Medina. Okay, I'll take it. Very, very nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
And then we have his name, which is Ken Hepesh F.
Yes, that's the whole name.
I don't know how you'd run that together into a name. They must have elided it somehow.
Must have, you're right. And so Ken is brave. Brave because of his strength or something of that nature.
Yes.
So Hopchef,
Winning because of his strength.
something like that, exactly. So
Yeah.
very masculine name, no doubt.
Or his strong arm. It was
Right.
translated once in a Middle Egyptian thing I saw. And then it's just Anek Wujar Seneb.
All right, very good.
You know, RUS. So it's the scribe PreHatip to inform. I think Suwajaib is to inform. I'm surprised at the there anyway, but Hurrieth, his boss, his superior. And then we have his name. Sorry, the scribe of the place of truth. Kenna Hepesh. ROS. Again, could you say something about the using there?
I was a bit surprised too, because normally, like when with royal names and the like, you just have Anak Ujar Seneb, right? I mean, you can say Imhotep in peace, for example, as a greeting. That's actually a thing. Abbreviate from ET, Imhotep, a stative plus a little adverbial at the end. I'm assuming this is really more like a greeting, essentially, in life, health, posterity, basically. That's how I would take it.
I sort of feel it's one of those humble things you say when you're writing to your boss.
Exactly. That's how I take it too.
Could it be with life, health, prosperity, just like a formality?
I mean, in a way, for translation in English, and M can be the instrumental case, like with a hammer, for example, would be M, and then whatever the word for hammer was. But I think it's really just like in peace, like you would say, come in peace. It's a polite greeting, like Chris
sense.
said.
Or even with best wishes.
With best wishes, yeah. That actually
Yeah,
is
that
pretty
makes
darn
sense.
accurate. To your point, Ben, you're right. With best wishes. And the N is there because this is a compound verb. So to suja the heart of somebody, the heart of his superior. So it's just in English it sounds awkward because we
Yes.
say inform and you would think, oh, that has a direct object, but it doesn't because literally the direct object here is the ib, and then the ib needs to be linked to something. That's where the N is coming, how the N is coming.
Yeah.
Very good. Great job.
Thank you.
I would take this as a first person, honestly. The scribe, etc., etc. So, PreHatip is informing or informs his superior with best wishes, basically, and then comes what he informs him of. Any questions about this one? So, comment that the pot. Hang on, no, I did. Sorry, should have mentioned that. The color pot, yeah, it could be. I mean, one of the words with cat means pot. So I'm wondering if it just is carried over from there, but I really don't know. We'll have to dig into that. Any other questions about this this first sentence? If not, I would say let's hand over to whoever wants the next one.
I can try part of it.
Okay.
I'm afraid I wasted absolutely ages just trying to do the first 4 characters of the homework, and I didn't until I realized you'd already given us the answer. But anyway, I learned something. So this I haven't prepared, but I can see it's I
Very good.
pa secheru.
The W is probably silent.
Bunny Buniu or
Almost. It's been. From the way it's spelled, I agree with you. You would say Benny, but actually the word itself is been, and it is born in bad in Coptic. That's what that is. That's why it has a
Oh,
little bad
okay.
word.
That's interesting. So is that the negative, or we're going to come on to that?
This one here is just, so the word itself just means bad, like borne
Oh,
in
okay.
Coptic. And it has a little bad word at the end just because things
Yeah,
that are
okay.
negative often get that.
Being an tea taku
Took, that's right.
cook. Oh, yes. Chra
Very good.
irif
Iref, that's right.
irif e
This is
iri.
This is tricky, yeah. It is indeed. Oh, wait, it's not missing, but I'll just spell it the way it is. It's what would become eroi to me in Coptic. Normally you spell it like this, but he spelled it completely phonetically here. So you can see that there was an initial vowel. It's not ri or something or rai. It's really erai in that stage of the language. You're doing great.
Okay, should I try that bit first?
Let's do that.
This is a question. You'll find I don't know anything. Ich. Now, is that some kind of like starter word?
It's ash in Coptic.
So I can't remember what it is.
What? Like,
what?
Question word.
Yeah. What are these Shra brothers, sisters?
I don't know. Secher. Secher.
Pardon? Secher, what's that?
Manner. Gardiner likes to translate it as plans, which everybody who ever took his Middle Egyptian grammar, read his Middle Egyptian grammar, will remember, but more often than not, it actually means manner.
What these manner of Bini? I'll miss that for a moment. Namely, you're doing it.
Mhm.
Okay, give up now.
You're pretty close. You had sorry, you're pretty close.
Oh.
No need to give up. What is this manner, something that you are doing to me? I think you had that already. So the only thing that's missing is the bean.
Right. Now, is that not or not? No, that's the bad. What is
That's
this bad
There you go.
thing that you're doing to me?
Exactly. What's that bad manner that you're doing to me? Like, in other words, why do you behave to me like this, is what it means.
Oh, okay. Why are you so rude?
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly what he's trying to say. Why are you
Bad
so
to me.
rude?
If I could chip in, I came across one of the translations of secher as opinion. It could mean
Oh.
situation or something or opinion. And I wonder whether it meant what is this bad opinion that you have of me?
That's interesting.
Like ill repute or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that would make sense, but the verb in the relative clause is ir, and I don't think you can. That would be news to me that ir secher is to have an opinion of something or someone, because typically that means make, do.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Just a
interesting.
thought.
It's funny because in English, if somebody's being rude, you can say, well, that's terrifically bad form.
A form, I mean,
Yeah.
Like that.
Sounds very English.
I gravitate towards form though. I think that's exactly what's meant here. Opinion is interesting, but more often I see secher as manner, state, mode, like more something about what you are, not what you think. Although I'm not going to say categorically it couldn't mean opinion. It's interesting. Now I'll be watching out for that in sentences. But here more like maybe behavior, or what did you say? Form. Form is kind of
Yeah,
cool,
bad
actually.
form.
What is this bad form that you're doing towards me? That's exactly what it means. And adjectives in Late Egyptian, just like in Middle Egyptian, come after the verb the word that they refer to. So while it is bad form in English, it would be secher ben in Late Egyptian. The adjective comes after. So this makes perfect sense grammatically.
Really, sorry to be boring, but is it worth looking up some sentences that have this word in?
Secher?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Why not?
I'm just curious because these translations can be so misleading.
Hang on. I don't think anybody will object to this, so let's have a look. So, conduite,
It's
mesure,
conduct. Hilarious.
état, conduct also
Yeah,
fits.
it's cool.
Yeah,
And let's see.
conduct. That's very good.
Now there is, of course, the meaning counsel, which is not even given here, although they give the to counsel at the bottom here. Let's look at some sentences. Now, and right here we have the counsel or plan for excellent plans. Okay. What else do we have? This is good. My Lord has taken good measures, basically. Again, more good measures. Yes, the sechru in every day of every day. That's a common one. Your everyday manner, like what you're wont to do. They're doing it usen pasen sechru en chenucharu. They're doing it in their manner of every day. In other words, like as is their wont, or however you want to put that into English. In the manner of speaking, I guess. Again, the everyday habit or manner in this one. I mean, you have to see it in a few sentences to get the feel for it. Really, manner is very often what it is. But conduct could fit as well. And occasionally plan, maybe. I think that translation is overrated. Okie doke. I hope that
I
helps a
was
bit.
looking at the older TLA and I got intention
Intention.
several times, which close to plan, maybe not quite.
Interesting.
Thinking the same thing because irrelevantly in the Bible it talks about the plans of the heart or the intentions of the heart, and which is a mixture of your plans, your intentions, and actually what you're about to do. So having a bad habit of intention in this case.
Got it. And here we have state, just to add one more. In our manner of brotherhood, this is from the treaty with the Hittites, talking basically about the relationship here among heads of states or countries. In our manner of brotherhood, in other words, in our state of brotherhood, on our state of peace. So this is a super flexible word. It can mean, oh, let's put it this way, it doesn't have a one-to-one translation in English for sure. So a bit of creativity is required.
But I think I should delete the word opinion from my mental dictionary.
I'd love to know which sentence
I don't know where I got it from.
I mean, maybe it is true somewhere. I'm not going to say no. But I've not seen it. Let's put it this way. What does that mean? Not been doing this for so long.
Unless it's used elsewhere as like state of mind or something to mean opinion very indirectly, but I don't know.
That makes
Maybe,
sense.
yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Great job. So yeah, what is this? How did you put it? What is this bad form that you're displaying or exhibiting towards me? Okay. Next one.
Take it.
All right.
Okay, Tui, MD, ek, mi, pa, a.
Right. And oops, what happened here? The T is questionable. I'm not sure what's going on here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, when I looked it up, couldn't find that T transcribed anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think we don't have to start discussing that this might be a female donkey, I don't think.
Yeah, but it has a male article. So I've seen that in a ton of text where they have the male donkey with a final T, and it does have a vowel at the end in Coptic still. It's still yo. And I'm thinking I'm often seeing that final T when you have a final vowel, just because they're so used to words with a T having a final vowel in Late Egyptian. I think it's just graphical. Because there is a ta, there's a female version of the donkey as well, but then it would have a T in front of it. I have no idea how that's pronounced in Coptic though, or if it lives on or not. So I would go with a male donkey in this case.
So translating it literally, I think we get, I am with you like the donkey. But my guess is what he's trying to say is, I'm like a donkey to you.
Which is exactly what it means. Yeah, I'm for you like a donkey. Am I a donkey to you, basically, if you want to make it into
Yeah, I guess we would phrase it as a question, but
Right. You treat me like a donkey. That's exactly what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a new kind of marital quip.
Is it?
Like I said, we have the beauty in those Deva Medina things is that you get things that you don't get on tomb walls or in funerary papyri.
I found a little reference to an aat as being a she-ass, which is pretty logical, isn't it?
Yeah, a she-ass.
Wonderful translation.
That's younger.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's the she-ass definitely exists as well. But should have a T then. Very good. So maybe quick grammatical commentary here. So tui mdik is again another adverbial sentence of first present. You have the new suffix pronoun, subject pronouns of late Egyptian, tui, just like you had tuk over here. So these are all basically adverbial sentences. And actually, in this case, this is a first present with an infinitive in here. With an infinitive, which, yeah, doesn't take a T, interestingly. It's not irtef, it's iref. And then tui, MD, again, another adverbial first present sentence. So all expressing what's currently going on, namely, you're treating me like a donkey. All right. Well done.
I have a question. Is it unusual to use the Seth animal in the word donkey? That seems
I think so.
unexpected to me.
I think so. That's why I
It's
glossed
common?
it down here. I think this is more common. Just the flying squirrel determinative without a Seth animal. Why it's in here, I don't know. Maybe for extra emphasis? Or maybe the scribe just liked it. He's doing it here again. It's a good point. It also has an extra yod at the end. On the other hand, you can see that an animal is meant because it has the generic animal determinative, and over here it's contrasted with a bull or a cow. So, but it's a really interesting question why he spelled it that way.
Maybe it has a negative connotation potentially.
Maybe.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, with Set being a god who has negative connotations.
It could really be it. That's why I thought, like, for emphasis, basically, to make it pejorative, I guess would be the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, I think there's an early graffito where in hieroglyphs where they're mocking early Christians, and there's a picture of a man on the cross with a donkey's head.
I think it's
Yeah, I've seen that. It's very, very offensive. I think it was made in a school tradition or something, like where there were early Christians and there were also a lot of people who were not Christian, and they were the majority at the time.
But is it
That's very interesting.
Is it a Greek graffito or is it an Egyptian one? I can't remember.
I actually think it's Roman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Let me look it up.
I don't
right
think
now.
it's in hieroglyphs.
So and so prays to his God is what it says, and then shows somebody praying to a donkey on a cross. Basically, it's yeah, kind of offensive.
Well, unless you're a Seth follower, you know.
Hang on.
We don't
No,
know
I
if
mean-
the Seth animal is a donkey, so
Don't we?
no. It's a lot
Or
of
if donkey is just a generic insult for someone you don't like, you call them a donkey. Or
That we know
just-
for sure. That we know for sure, because there is, for example, the inside, "Are you a donkey?" Literally like this, in Egyptian. So, okay, it's a Greek inscription. It's called the Alexamenos graffito. Also the graffito blasfemo, a piece of Roman graffito plastered on the wall of a room near the Palatine Hill in Rome. So it is in Rome, but apparently, no, is it in Latin or in Greek? Let's have a look here. Greek inscription. So there you go.
Greek.
Yeah, and which century? Hang on. 2nd century BC. So comparatively old. Wait, that can't be. It doesn't make sense. BC, 2nd century? Ha! That doesn't make any sense. It's Christian. I mean, anti-Christian. So how does that work? Sorry, 280. That makes more sense.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have to deal with some serious time travel here.
Right, exactly.
In which case, I'm out of here. I have something to follow up on. All right. So much for donkeys. 3rd sentence. I'm just looking at the clock.
No, I can try if no
I
one
could
else wants.
try it.
No,
Oh, go
Ben,
ahead.
please go ahead.
Okay, I'll let's see what I can do. So Irwen, then Bach. I think the U on the end isn't pronounced, right?
I
So
think so, yeah. That's
or
right.
it might be because it's plural, so Baku, but
Could be.
could be. Okay, and then is that just a comma essentially, or
Yes,
just
that's just
I'm not
me.
sure. Okay.
That's just me adding my obnoxious commas everywhere to make it easier to read. So it's not there in the original.
Okay, great. That's modern editorial punctuation. Got it.
Got it.
Okay, so then new. No, wait, no. In like ini. And then pa donkey again. So pa aat or aa. And the same thing. We'll start with that. So, and bak, is that serve?
So it
Jobs.
I think I heard jobs, which is correct. It's work, some
Sorry.
task to do.
Work.
But you're correct.
It's a noun.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. It's related to like the Coptic word for servant.
Correct.
I think. Okay. So let's see. So ear when bak. Doing work. Ear is do. When is
not quite. Look at the spelling.
no.
It's not this ear.
Okay.
Not the ear that's spelled with an I.
Oh, right. It's not that ear. Okay. Oh man. Okay, that's one of those conjunctions that
Correct.
introduces.
Perfect. Yes.
It goes with in, right? It's like nepa kind of, or
Not quite.
it's not negative. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on that, unfortunately.
No worries. So here the most basic meaning is as for. It's related probably to
As
the
for.
preposition er, but
Okay. Okay. So as for doing work or beginning work, maybe.
What do you make out of when? The most basic meaning of when?
When means open, right? Or being.
When means open if it's spelled like this. With this thing. With the
Oh, okay. So here it's the being or existing verb.
You got it. Exist.
Okay, so exist. So when there is work.
You got it.
Or as for when there is work.
Perfect.
You I guess as for when there is work, I guess implied you are a donkey, or there is a donkey.
I'd be careful. Just stay more literal.
Okay.
What does ine by itself? I mean, what does ini by itself mean?
Buy a donkey?
Not quite.
I'm blanking on this, unfortunately.
You have
a conjunction, right?
No, not really.
Oh yeah, bring or going. That's right. I'm sorry.
Bring is
yeah. Man. Okay. Bring. When there is work, bring a donkey.
You got it. It's an imperative.
Okay.
You
It's
could
an
wonder
imperative. Okay. Got it.
What verb form is it? But it's just an imperative. So if there's work, bring the donkey.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
But as for when there's work, bring a donkey. Can I try the next part, or do you want someone else want to go? I'm okay either way.
No. You can do the next one.
I can try this. So thanks. So Harry, when, but not that when. The one with the bunny. And then im.
Tricky one.
Emu.
Tricky one. It's indeed spelled emu. It becomes warm in Coptic. Which you might remember. But originally this is wenam. At this point in time,
eat.
You got it. At this point in time, it's really questionable if that N is still pronounced. I don't think so, honestly.
Okay. So it's probably just warm, pronounced like something like warm. Okay. And then it has a guy eating some bread, or something. And then ini or no, in pa ka.
Could be ka or could be ich. Ich, who knows? Either.
Ich. Okay, that's another word for cow.
Correct.
Or bull.
Or bull. That's right.
Okay, so the share. Okay, so when there's work, bring a donkey. Then this is a finite verb. So and eating upon or like and when or no and when there is eating or and when and eating and for eating bring a bull.
That's right. Now
Quite verb form is a little.
Yeah, when it would have to be a noun because it's when. I think it's a noun.
Right, because the ending.
Right. So I think it's basically like when there's food, when there's something to eat, bring the cow. That's how I would.
Or the plural marks there to emphasize it's kind of a collective or like a noun, like when there's a or not like a stative, but when there's eating.
Possibly. Yeah. Let's have a look.
Okay.
That seems a very strange thing to say. Is there some association of cows with eating?
I was surprised.
I don't know. They're hungry. They're big animals.
I mean, unless they're the thing being eaten. So
yes,
that makes sense. I mean, donkeys. You don't eat donkeys unless you're really, really hungry, and they do work for you because they pull things or they push things around. And
yeah, but so do cattle and donkeys are very tasty.
That's true.
It's very much a cultural thing on whether or not you eat donkeys.
Donkey meat is eaten.
I remember something vaguely from Herodotus that some Egyptians don't eat cows and they're considered sacred, but then other groups do. I'm not sure. It's still a thing happening.
Some cows that are considered sacred, but like the Apis bull and
like
that sort of thing. But I don't think they're generally considered sacred.
Not generally. It's not like in India where
is this like a sort of maxim or a saying? When you need work, get a donkey. When you want to have a lovely meal, bring some roast beef.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I mean, consider the context here. He's calling himself a donkey. You work me like a slave. I'm like a donkey to you. But when there's food, when there's rations, you give it to the cow.
So my first read,
he doesn't. I think he's by comparison trying to show how he's mistreated. He's treated worse than a cow because the cow gets to eat, but he gets.
Yeah, I think that's the spirit of what he's saying.
Right.
Makes sense.
Fun fact: the word "wenem" or "wem" is still used in the modern Egyptian language as "mum," and it's usually referenced with little boys or girls, children in general. It's called mum.
Oh, and what's the meaning?
Like when you want to encourage your little kid to eat something, you say mum,
so
mum.
like eat. Okay, I get
it.
Oh,
that's cool.
Eat up. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and I mean the word is still very common in Coptic. I mean it's one of the most basic verbs as well.
So why did I not find that in any dictionary? I missed looking that up so much.
It's a slang. Mom. Well, it's actually a bit different in pronunciation, but yeah, it's called mom. Something like that.
I mean the one that Aurelio glossed on the homework.
Did I mess up?
Okay.
Let me see.
I don't know.
You need to eat or
there you go. Eating food. That's the one. I'll change my method here. Going forward, I'm going to put the the transliteration as well, not just the Coptic. The way I was thinking about that is the Coptic dictionary.org is actually pretty cool. So you can just, if I should forget, you can just type the Coptic in there. It will come right up, but I'll add the...
just type, because we all have Coptic keyboard installed.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
that was a lot. The part that took the longest. Go to Wikipedia, find a Coptic alphabet, copy every letter in.
You can actually type it directly in there. They have their own keyboard for that dictionary.
Yeah, but poor old Edie's not going to do all this just to find out a word.
That is true. No.
Oh, but that could have worked. I did not see that. Bloody hell.
So you don't have to look up the characters or install a keyboard on your desktop.
That's actually super neat that they have.
Oh, holy shit! It's Ogun. That's an M. That makes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. I didn't see that right. I saw that was an N because I was looking at my phone.
Got it.
Okay, another mystery solved.
Another mystery solved. And it's really interesting. There's several different ways how to spell that. You can also spell that, and I'm not going to go into that, but this is one of the common spellings. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. No, that would be another bunny, right? Okay. Cool. So far so good. You treat me like a donkey. It's not being very specific though. Let's go on a little bit and find out what specifically he's complaining about. Anybody wants to take the next one? And I think Jonathan.
There's no volunteer. I'd love to.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Right.
Ir.
Hang on, I need to find my
Yes,
translation
of course.
keyboard. Sorry.
And that's exactly why I don't install a Coptic keyboard on top of things. Ir un. Henket, so the N is not spelled, but we know it's there.
Okay.
Ben tuek her ucha. And also took some finding out. Oh yeah, ucha I probably. This
Correct.
I think there is a first. That's one of those where there is a first person ending not spelled. Ir un. Pa. Bak. Baku. Who knows? Iuek. Her. Ucha. And again I. Do I continue all the way to the? Actually, no, that's a good place to stop, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so when there is beer, you do not send me or send for me or
That's right.
something like that. When there is work, you do send me or send for me.
That's exactly it. When there's beer, you don't look for me, and when there's work, you do come looking for me, basically. That's exactly what it means. Great job.
And I want to be involved in the beer as well, please.
That's his specific complaint, yes. And I mean, all first person sentences, basically. Ben took her, that's the negated form. You just put the ben in front of it. You don't need the iuna after the uchai. In some forms of the first person, you can use it, but here he just goes very straightforward. You don't look for me. And yes, he leaves the for me out, but it makes way more sense if you mentally put like a little A1 man at the end of this. It just works better, I think, than a naked, you look, yeah, but look for what? Uchai, look for me. Okay, very good. Great job.
Thanks.
How about the next one?
I'll go.
All right.
Iri erche. I don't know what the next symbol sounds like.
This one?
No. So that's iri erche.
Yeah, but the other way around. It's her iri. Her ir.
Oh, her iri. And then this is chre. Chre.
This is that's a her. You're right. That's right.
Chre. Now that flame, what's that?
So this is ja, with this, and then it's that twice.
Ja. Oh, ja ja. Ja ja. I think I'm not sure what the face is doing there. The next face.
Oh, that belongs to
Not Jar Jar Binks. Just warning you. Sorry.
Star Wars reference, obligatory. Jaja is actually
No R there.
Sorry, what's Ja ja?
At the head, actually, but the whole thing is a fixed expression. But the word itself means head, though.
Okay, like Joe in Coptic.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. I was just about to look it up. You got there first. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it's Joe and Ja. That's just a picture. Okay, so N or N or is it just a river?
I don't know. I think it's N.
N.
I think it's actually none, if I'm not mistaken. I think in this case the two N's are there.
Okay, then unique. And that I think might mean you are, but we'll come to that. Unique. Then is this next one sit?
Just sit. Set would be the feminine version, but this is the male version.
Sit. So it's like C, but sir. Sir. Why is there a man on the end underneath the sir?
because it's an old word for man.
Oh gosh.
It's what was used before image, before Rome. It does not survive. It does survive into Coptic, actually. It survives in names of professions. A man of so and so, like your plumber, your man of plumbing, would be a sir and something. That does survive in Coptic, but otherwise it doesn't. But just the old word for men. The female is set, and it's the beginning of the word eschime, woman. The S at the beginning of eschime is actually set, woman. But yeah, this one means man. So anaxe, what kind of?
Buniu.
Mhm. It's a bean again. That's right. The same we had
Bean.
before. Mhm.
Bean. Ma. Bean. So that's ma.
Not quite. This is one of the uniliterals of
Oh,
the.
is it ah?
Ah.
Not quite.
Ah.
Ah would be this one.
Oh. Ha. Ma. Ma. I said ma.
M. That's right.
Ma for M.
That's just M.
Yes, sorry. Bunny. Sorry. Bean.
Yeah. The reason I'm making a face is, let me correct this right now. The scribe made a mistake. It should really be this. This is how the word is spelled. And for whatever reason, he put an extra N in there. So I'm going to take it out because this is really the word that he's looking for. And I've glossed
Probably
it down
because
here.
he spelled bin so often that now
Exactly.
he was just in the flow.
Right. Yeah, I didn't want to just edit it out because I want to give you a text as it is, but on the other hand, not to get any confusion. So it should really be spelled like this.
Okay, so then the next word we've got the beat.
That's right.
I'm going to ignore the flower pot. Ma. So
M.
M. Sorry. Cut. Oh, that's your drink again.
That's right. And
Beer.
That's right. And I think it's Henke in Coptic as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Henke has
I'll
almost.
just keep going to the end of this sentence, hopeless though it is. So ma or M. Iru.
That's right.
Now this egg cup, is that nub?
This is cha.
Ha.
So this actually belongs to it. So it is
Uha.
uha. You got it. Perfect. And again, like what E.T. was saying a moment ago, there's probably a missing. There's probably a missing.
Wuha. Is wuha mean bring?
No, uha is look for somebody, search for somebody, or search for something as well, like search for.
Okay. Right.
I did not gloss that one, I think. The first one you just have to know, because that's a fixed expression I don't know either. So
sorry, I've got no signal.
I can help with the first one because this is tricky. So her ear is and as for, right? So it's basically just and. Her jajanen is a fixed expression just between you and me, or just amongst
Just
us
between
girls.
your head and my head, tete-a-tete.
Something like that, exactly. I didn't know that expression. I found it in Junge. He translates it this way. I'll go with it. So I would just say, let's take this as a given and just between us. But now comes the sentence itself. So you had anak, has been, and beid.
I am. I am.
That's right. I am.
A man.
Yeah. Not any man, but a man being.
I mean, old man.
Not quite. What was been? We had that before. It was here at the beginning.
I can't remember. My signal's terrible. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Bad. It's bad.
Oh, bad. Yeah. I am a bad man. I am bad.
Yeah. And not just
I'm a
any
bad
kind.
man.
I'm a bad man, and not just any kind of bad man, but a bad man
Of
Biat.
a bad. No, Beat. What is a Beat?
It's down here.
Oh, of bad character. Of
Mhm.
bad character. Of
That's right.
character. Of beer. I'm an alcoholic.
Potentially. Let's not go that far. I would say I'm a bad man with beer, so to say. Like literally, it says in beer,
Ah,
but so I'm a bad man of character with beer, but it's essentially like I'm somebody who can't be trusted with alcohol. Is basically
okay,
is what
great.
he's
I like
saying.
this. Of ear. As for uh keep forgetting what that is. That
To search.
Oh, I am doing searching or for searching for it.
You have to know what the M is in this case. Let me help. M is used for the negative imperative.
Oh, do not look for me.
You got it. That's it. This sentence looks weird unless you mentally put like a little if in there. If I'm a man that is bad with alcohol, basically, don't look for me. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
If that's
Which
what
means,
you're
Just
thinking,
common sense.
yeah.
if that's what you think, don't bother me, basically. That's
Oh,
the way
great.
Junge took it. I think he's got a point,
Oh.
so I'll go with it.
Right. I see. So he can't have it both ways, this master. He's either got to let him work and give him beer,
That's right.
but he can't work if you're not going to be given any beer.
Exactly.
He's not an alcoholic.
Right. I
Because
mean,
workers were paid in beer sometimes, right? Is that something that happens in Egypt as well as in Mesopotamia? They had like a beer mash ration that workers were paid with.
it definitely happened in the Old Kingdom because we have the detailed lists of how many onions and how much beer and etc. were provided for pyramid workers. But I think that is also, I don't know, there in Medina, in the whole strike papyrus thing, you have the detailed lists of provisions. I think it's mostly grain and fish and vegetables. Would have to check if there's
Makes more
beer in
sense.
there. You would think so. I just realized something. The may actually be in here. I didn't realize that, and I put the punctuation wrong. And as for among us, me being a bad man with my liquor, so to say, then don't look for me. I think the if that I said you have to mentally put in here, I think it's actually in here because kharir generally has the meaning of when. So maybe I just made a mistake and how I put punctuation in there, went a bit overboard. So I think it's actually here. And when I'm a man that's bad with his alcohol, well, don't come and look for me. That's how I would take it. Very good. Hey, we almost got through it. Should we try the last two and finish this up? And then we
Yes.
do chapter number 17 next time?
Definitely.
I'm happy to have a bash at the next one.
All right.
We say it's Inek Z Ut Heket. I'm a man without any beer.
I think you missed one in between, though.
Oh, have I?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Nefer Sejem Inek. Per Imenre. I find the translation of this difficult. Nasut Nichiru.
Right.
Okay, and then we seem to get Nasut Anquajar
Right. I mean, this one we already had, so it's just a honorific transposition. It's ense
Yeah.
Nishure, or Nesut Nechero. And then, yeah, like you said, that refers to
Yeah. There seem to be too many Nasuts in there.
only one, this one.
Oh,
and
okay.
so
What about
this is
we've got
the
those two parrots up there?
this is just that both Amun and Re get a divine determinative. So this is
Okay.
the whole name of Amun Re.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have to tell you honestly, I struggled with that sentence. I'm not completely sure, but what you think it
Yeah.
means?
Yeah. And I'm stuck. The very first bit in translation, I mean, it could mean listening. Oh, it is good listening to you. On the other hand, it could be listening is good for you.
Which is what quite often it means. There are a few wisdom texts where it says something like "Nefer segem in remech." It's good for people
Yeah.
to listen, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where my mind went. Yoga translates it as "May you have a good hearing. May your hearing be good." In blah blah blah, which I have no idea where he takes it from. I was not able to find a parallel, and if you look on my desktop, you can see that I actually tried because it's still sitting here somewhere. Basically, try to find all sentences that somehow have Sejam and Nefer in there, and I was not too successful. So
Yeah.
useful is listening to a son, blah blah blah. Okay.
Mm.
What
Because
else?
the translation, the one that you mentioned, comes from the shipwrecked sailor, I think.
Oh yes, you're right. It's in the shipwreck sailor. You're right. It's good to listen to people. It's also in one of the wisdom texts, in slide
So
modification.
it's an expression.
It is. So I'm a little bit confused by this one, honestly. Does anybody else have anything on this one that we didn't mention yet? If not, I would say let's just go with, yeah, I don't know. Those two alternatives. It's good to listen for you, or may your audience be good, which sounds very tortured to me. I don't
Yeah.
think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, what do you make out of the rest? Emper, Imenre,
Oh,
Ense, Shure.
in the house of Iman Ray.
That's right.
I don't understand that really.
Yeah, like I said, this sentence to me is also a bit um obscure. We could take a quick look.
I wonder if it's like bless your heart a little bit. Like, may the gods be good to you in the afterlife for not, being good to me. I don't know, something like that. There's a bit of sarcasm there. I'm not sure.
Would have
Like
guessed the
in the
house of.
South, you say bless your heart when like you
Yeah.
really, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you might be annoyed at them and say, well, bless your heart. And
Bless your
it's
heart.
not a good thing.
It basically means you're idiot, right? If you translate it into plain Anglo-Saxon.
Sort of, yeah. It's very passive aggressive sounding.
It is.
I thought the house of Amun-Ra would be the temple of the god, and maybe that's where the scribe works. So he's saying, hey, you and your fancy workplace, listen well.
Your ivory tower, basically.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I like this. That could
That
be.
was, I mean, I translated the whole Nefer Sejam as listen well, but I was fully aware that that's probably BS. But I couldn't think of anything else.
Actually, I've seen that before in a letter where it says it is good for my lord to listen. In other words, please pay attention. I've seen that before. So I wonder
Like
if this
that.
is not a variant on this, and for some reason he feels that the workplace needs to be added. It could be. Could be. Quick look at the transcription of this one, which also has all the like the uncertain parts or any damages. And no, the line's basically ending there. There's nothing major missing. The N is reconstructed between Sejam and Ek. Everything else is there. I was not able to find a photo of Ostracon 303. There's a question here, is there anything missing in the blank spot? But that's it. So yeah, like I said,
No, sorry, but that's behind the letter B, and the letter B is at the beginning of line 9.
Oh, I'm
because
with you.
there's a reference. This doesn't this is not even in reference to
You're
the
right.
line left blank.
Where's the B? Oh, down here. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right. So
So
even
I don't think there doesn't seem to be any uncertainty about
No.
whether or not line 7 continues.
you're correct. You're correct. So it's just that we're not completely sure what it really means. Although I like the interpretation that you guys came up with, namely, you better listen, so to say, in the house of so and so. Could be.
But what the N means in that case?
The M here, right?
How would you grammatically put it? Yeah.
I mean, so it couldn't be you being, because that would have to be imi. So it could only be like an adverbial adjunct, an adverbial phrase at the end, like it's good for you to listen in the house of so and so. But it is, honestly, I find it a bit clunky. Normally my rule is, if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm probably missing something, and this is one of those cases where I can sort of make it work, but I'm thinking there may be something that escapes us. Any thoughts or any ideas on this one?
Is M used
Yeah,
with
I
verbs
took
of
it as a. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I don't think I'm correct. I'm just throwing it out there that M sometimes it gets used with verbs of motion, but both of these verbs also get kind of used like nouns. So never like, yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like going into the house. But I think it's more of a state.
There
so
is no verb
I'm
of
not really sure.
motion.
I think this is just a simple preposition.
Yeah,
Per
that's what
in
I
the
thought
house.
too. In the house.
That's how
Yeah.
I took it.
Right. Yeah, I was going to just make a point about the Nefrosegeminek part. Yeah, so I took it as though a way one could end a letter talking to maybe a superior, kind of like, I mean, maybe there is some sarcasm involved, but I just take it as though he's ending it. It is good that you have listened in the house of Amun. I kind of took it that way.
And I think
It's like all the best.
I think you're on the right path. I think so, just because of that letter ending. I think it may even be in this article. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I saw
I'm not sure, but I may have ran across this in Jung's book, like toward the back somewhere, where he talks about how you end letter, how they ended letters and started letters, and
You're
I
right.
think I may have saw it in Jung.
And I think you're absolutely correct, because that's where this exercise comes from. Let's see what Jung says. That is a great point.
That makes sense. It's a very formulaic beginning and ending of a letter.
That's right.
That explains why there's some older sounding grammar in here, maybe too. More Middle Egyptian-ish.
Especially for like letter endings or beginnings. People like to say, here we go. The terminal phrase in the letter, you're exactly right. I think that is our letter here. Yeah. The terminal phrase in the letter, Nefes Hegemek, good reading. May your reading be agreeable. Ah, okay. So yes, that is a terminal phrase then. And I mean,
It's like thank you for reading, or sincerely.
thank you for reading, exactly. That makes the most sense to me so far. Also, something,
cool.
I mean, it is possible, looking at this letter. We didn't do the last sentence yet, but especially after you read the last sentence, the last one that we're going to come to in a moment, I'm thinking those two guys are probably friends. I don't take this as a Ea Nasir copper complaint letter, but I take it as a more like a friendly nudge, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do the last sentence and you tell me what
Not
you
an
think.
HR complaint.
Can I ask a very quick question?
Of course.
When you say the word Ra, you're all saying Re for the Amun Ra.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an A sound.
Well, that's the old question between Egyptological pronunciation and how it was really said.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
Well, how it was really said around this time is probably Ria. So
Yeah, exactly. From cuneiform transcription, it would be something like I don't know, Aman Rie or something would be correct. Later in Coptic,
I think it's Ria. I think it's
Ria,
quite
Ria.
consistently Ria in at
Well,
least the
here
18th dynasty.
Here in Egypt, we call it Ra. This is a different pronunciation. Yeah. because we say, because Ra is also you know, the sun god, and so, and when we want to say the sun is hot, we say الشمس مرارة, like Ra wise, but we, of course, we don't know what Ra mean in nowadays. Yeah.
You think it's related to the name of the sun god?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think very much.
Yeah, it must be. It must be.
Like the shoe season, you know what it was called, shoe, right? Shimu, sorry. And
Shimo.
we my
Shimo.
grandmother say it's shum, which is mean it's so hot.
Oh, oh wow. Okay, that is cool. Interesting.
That's cool.
Thanks for adding that. Does it have that Ra? Does it have an ayin in it then? Does it have the
Yeah, Ain.
oh, interesting, which I can't pronounce, as you probably already figured out,
Oh,
but
of course, it's very hard actually, especially if you have a ha after it, like the word aha. It's hard even for native speakers.
interesting. Very cool. Thanks for adding. So yeah, it's a little bit
Was the cuneiform transcription from the Amarna letters of that word, or
not of that word, but Nibmuaria, for example, in
That's the best known
Nibmuaria,
example.
that would be, of course, our friend Nib
Ma'atre,
Ma'atre. In other words, oops.
Munhotep III.
oh, okay, appearing in the name, right? Okay, that makes sense.
And there are a few other places where you have it. It's always transcribed like this. The reason why I hesitate to take the A for full, the question is always also when an Akkadian scribe or an Akkadian speaking scribe wrote something down, what options did they have? Like for example, in Greek, they can't transcribe the sh, so they always write an S, where the Egyptians had a sh
Right,
sound.
so Moshe becomes Moses, and other things like that.
Right, exactly.
Moses.
So if it was Ri'ah, for example, do we know if it was Re'ah, Ri'ah, Ri'ah? It depends on what was in the sign inventory, what you could actually write, and what they felt it sounded like. But yeah, this
I
is
think it is
Also
generally
Akkadian-
accepted that the Akkadian E can, on occasion, stand for an Egyptian sound,
I think so.
something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure how that is known, but I think it is generally accepted. But the fact that they wrote it with an R at the end seems to suggest that wasn't yet an sound.
interesting. Okay.
My understanding of that is there's some parallel Semitic things that happen where you have like an imperfect form where you have the E, and in other Semitic languages you expect a yud for that, and that they don't have really a way of writing a yud sound, so they just write a long I symbol for that. So I think it has something to do with comparative Semitic linguistics and similar forms that happen.
Oh, cool.
Kind of neat.
Guys, great discussion. Let's bring it home though. We have one more double line to do basically. So Coda,
Right.
he sums it all up at the end, and then there's one summary line, what this is all about. Basically, that's the TLDR here at the end.
Can I try it?
Of course. Yep.
Okay. Inaksa athenket paparef.
Yeah, let me write it how it should have been, but yeah, it is at what he says. Yeah, at Henget.
Okay.
And what did you have? Ah, yeah,
Paparef.
That's right. Very good.
So I am a man who does not have beer. I guess in is implied in his house.
Close, yeah. Any idea what the pa is?
In the house of his. How else to say it?
Hey, this is a tricky one. I think Chris, you had it right. I saw it in your homework.
In the house of him.
Belonging to
At
the
home?
house. Belonging to the house. Belonging to his house. This is that
Okay.
usage that you also get in Coptic, where patana can be belonging to.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay.
it's a
no, that would have
comparatively rare one.
completely passed me by.
That's why I thought I'd point it out because it's so easy to miss, but that's what it is.
Yeah, especially right
don't have an M.
before, yeah,
Mhm.
in Pauper, the house. Tui hercha.
Ucha, you said?
No, just ha. I mean,
Oh,
is
oh
there
yeah.
supposed to be an u?
No, there isn't. You're right.
Okay. Ermech het.
Mhm. Yes,
Pi hab enek.
right. And I should let you know that there is an M missing in here, at least according to your map.
Okay. Pi hab enek.
Mhm. M pi neck. Very good.
Okay, so I send for the measure. I'm not sure. I don't know what mechet would be. The measure of the belly is definitely not it.
Right. What else can mech be?
Mech, cubit, fill.
Fill.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, fill. Okay. Haha. Okay, to fill. This can't be belly. What is het here?
That's no, that's exactly what it is, to fill my belly.
Oh, it is. Okay. Belly of this. Send.
Right.
Send to you.
Mhm. Take this as in.
In sending to you, in writing to you, writing
correct.
to you, of course.
Mhm.
Oh, so I am okay. He is hoping to fill his belly by writing to you.
Exactly. In sending this to you, what I'm doing is I'm basically writing this to fill my belly. But
Well, that's why you think they're friends.
that's why I think they're friends. I mean, this is just.
That makes sense.
And by the way, I made a mistake. This is really ucha here, isn't it? I
Oh,
thought
okay.
that makes more sense, honestly. Because then it
I
would
love how
become.
colloquial this is. This is great. It doesn't, I mean, it has formalities, but it's also just intended to be just, yeah, between two guys.
I think
we
it's a
assume,
joke
so.
between two close colleagues, basically. It's like,
I wondered whether this was all a spoof and someone was so angry he decided to write a letter on a piece of pottery of what he'd like to say to his boss to get it off his chest.
That's,
Honestly,
yeah,
I
that's a
was
useful
thinking
technique.
something along those lines as well. I thought there's no way he actually wrote that to his boss, but so I thought the same thing.
The word to fill is still there in Coptic. Or
is it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
More? Yeah. Is it like more or something?
Yes, it's definitely got but yeah, put fill to fill. It's got lots about 3 or 4 different ways because the word changes and often you don't see its original until you get the qualitative.
You're absolutely right. To fill.
Yeah, more. That's right.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic. Love
A
it.
quick question. In modern Egyptian, do you have a word that's a bit like full that sounds like muh?
Modern Egyptian Arabic.
That sounds like meh. I have no idea actually, but I think it's if you pronounce it the way you guys pronounce it, it's more like the formal Arabic mel, which is mean you're filling something. It's Semitic languages, so you can find some similarity.
Interesting. What's the final consonant on that one? Is it
Which
an
one?
M in
Which
Egyptian?
one?
The one you just mentioned.
Ha, meh and mel.
Malt. Okay.
Yeah, you
Ahmed?
filling
Probably
something.
Semitic because
Yeah.
Hebrew has maleh.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Makes sense.
I'm sorry to say this, I'm going to have to leave you. So I'll see you
I
next
have to go
time.
too, but have a great week, guys. This is really fun.
This was
Yeah,
fun.
thanks
all.
thanks Aurelio. I'm sorry we've been slow, but it means we're learning
Oh.
stuff.
You're doing great. And let me just fix the last sentence. So basically, yeah, with the ucha, it makes more sense. I'm searching to fill my belly in this writing to you or in my writing to you. And then that sentence makes a lot more sense, I think, than without the u. Okay, cool. Good. Great job, everybody. And see you all next week for Ramses, not for Ramses, for Horus and Seth. I hope.
Nope. Of course, it's that.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you.